Here is the paradox. A student who speaks English fluently with friends suddenly becomes silent in the class. Not because they do not know the words, not because their brain forgets the grammar, but because something deeper shut down. So what actually stopped them from speaking? Is that the brain or the mind? Now, we explore a classic philosophical debate, materialism versus dualism, and why silence might tell us more than words ever could. Materialism tells a simple and powerful story. Everything about human behavior can be explained by physical processes. From this view, when students stay silent, the cause is clear. Anxiety in crisis, cognitive load becomes heavier, stress blocks speech production, the brain reacts, the mouth stays closed. Materialism works well here. It gives us measurable causes, brain activity, psychological responses, neurological inhibitions. But then a question appears. If the brain is the only explanation, why does silence feel different for every student? Materialism explains silence by looking at causes we can measure. Anxiety rises, cognitive load increases, stress interrupts speech productions. On the surface, this explanation works. Brain activity changes, speech is inhibited, the student remains silent. But here is the problem. Materialism can explain what happens, yet it struggles to explain what is it like. Why does anxiety feel paralyzing rather than neutral? Why does silence feel heavy instead of empty? Why does the same student feel confident outside of the classrooms but invisible inside it? This question points to something materialism cannot fully capture, the subjective experience of being conscious. Neuroscience can describe neural correlates of fear, but it cannot explain why fear feels the way it does, why judgment feels personal, why the classroom feels threatening even when no one speaks. This gap between physical explanation and lived experience is what philosophers call the explanatory gap. And this is exactly where materialism begins to lose its explanatory power. Dualism over another explanations. From this perspective, consciousness is not identical to the brains. It is connected to it, but it cannot be reduced to it. The student is not silenced because language is gone. The language is still there. The grammar is intact. The vocabulary remains. What disappears is the intention to speak. Philosopher John Searle calls this intentionality, the conscious direction toward actions and meaning. Inside the classrooms, language becomes evaluated, judged, separated from the self. And when that happens, the intention collapses. David Chalmers reminds us that experiences like anxiety are not just brain activity. They are felt. Fear of judgment, self-awareness, exposure. Materialism can describe what happened in the brain, but it cannot explain why it feels this way. So silence is not just neurological inhibitions, it is a conscious response to an evaluative space. This is why silence cannot be explained by materialism alone. Yes, the brain matters, but so does meaning, so does identity, so does conscious participations. Dualism helps us see language learning as lived experience, not just cognitive processing. When we understand silence this way, we stop asking, what's wrong with the students? And we start asking, what kind of space invite intention to speak? Because sometimes, silence is not the absence of language. It is the presence of consciousness holding back.